All right. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay, and we are on Assetto Corsa Competizione on PS5. Just jumping in, looking to get a few laps in. Um, got the itch, needs to be scratched, so get in here and do a few laps. I haven't even touched my PC as far as ACC goes. I don't think I've touched it in about 3 or 4 days due to my amp, to my bass shakers being out. And I was supposed to have a new amp delivered Saturday, but due to the severe weather, it's been delayed. So um, I'd imagine I'm thinking it'll probably show up probably tomorrow or Wednesday. So, um, but that's all good anyway because yesterday I think I spoke about ACC that whenever I whenever I'm on PC that I'll probably record the footage, most notably for LFM races. And when I'm on PS5, I'll stream that live. Because I think on PS5, my lap times are slower on PS5, so I don't really feel as much pressure to try to um, set a record lap or whatever. Whereas on PC, I'm trying to, if I'm trying to set a record lap and I'm constantly looking over at the chat, that can be uh, that can disrupt your lap. So, but I like that format anyway, going live on the PS5 version. And I'm starting to get used to the flip flopping back and forth between racing flat screen and racing in VR. And I think this is a good time of day to jump on the PS5 version. As there's a little more people, there's a few more people in the lobbies than usual. And oh shoot, mute that. And so after yesterday's two streams, I can't ignore it that it appears that GT7 still gets more views than Assetto Corsa Competizione, especially. So I guess I can't ignore that, and I guess I have to, start working some GT7 back into the mix. I mean, which we're less than 2 months away from PSVR 2 coming, and I would like to think that GT7 will get VR support sometime in 2023. I'm just not a big fan of Sony taking their own sweet time to announce it. So this race is 10 p.m. local time, which means this is a night race. This is going to be fun. All right, let's go.
flag in sector 2.
Oh, no!
Got some light damage on the front.
I already programmed myself to do that. Today, I'm actually finding that light above my head to be a little bit of a distraction. I might have to turn that light off and turn one of the other lights on. That doesn't screw up the lighting. All right. Yikes. All right, 1 second, folks. That seems a little too dark.
Mandatory stop is not clear. Come on, go, go, go.
shit! Let me see if I can check. Oh, that was the flashers!
Leaders on the final lap now.
Oh!
Light damage.
Basically, what I ended up doing was hitting the fucking PlayStation button and it brought up the dashboard. Another wreck. Anyway, this race is over, so we'll just get ready for the next one. Oh, my lights!
Leader has finished race. Right, race is over. Job made. Leader must bring it back to bits.
Oh my god, that must have been a hard hit. Let's see. Oh.
Give it all you can.
Crap. Now I gotta figure out how to switch this back. Oh, God. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just trying to get this shit together with the... we got a problem. It doesn't want to load the CSL setup. Oh, crikey. All right, let's see if that works. There we go. Damn it. Got. I was itching, can't ignore that. All right, let's go. I just realized by doing this, I can actually change the traction control
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
and the bias, all that stuff. I can do all that on the fly now. Okay, that's how I can get around that. Got some heavy oscillation. You got to turn it down. Turn the gain down. Turn the force feedback down a little bit.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh man, that sunlight. This is a 15-minute race. Yeah, 40's enough. Go back, turn that light off. Said you should race me someday on console. I ain't gonna be hard to beat. Probably ain't gonna be hard to beat on PC either.
30 seconds. Going double time.
Yeah, PC, my fastest lap on PC is 2:21, so I'm definitely not fast at this track. And I'm usually 2 seconds slower on console, so I would probably saying that we're probably looking at 224s or 223s. And that all depends on how well I get through the Eau Rouge.
Green light, go, go, go. Car on the right, clear on the right.
Have a wheel setup? Yeah. You don't have a PC? Well, I mean, console's good. I think this version of ACC is good enough. Yeah, I race clean. At least I try to. You know, you're gonna have a situation where things happen, but I try to race clean. Yeah, definitely. Oh!
Slow car ahead.
Yeah, I played around with my force feedback. Yeah, oh my God. Now the back end, oh, my wheels are hot too.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out.
hands are starting to hurt from this force feedback.
Well, how many fastest lap times so far? We are halfway through. Keep it up.
Are people slower in the council version? Yes. Don't mean to be. You'll find it. You'll see an occasional alien in here, but for the most part, generally speaking, yeah, the council races are slower. If I could turn in the same lap times on console that I turn in on PC, I would win a lot of races. And my PC times are less than impressive. My best lap on PC for this track is 2:21. And look it up there. I'm doing 2:26.5 and I got the fastest lap of the race. That's insane. Oh shit! Chris, I would give my right arm to be able to do a 220. This just is not one of my better tracks, and a lot of it has got to do with the fear of the Eau Rouge. I'm scared of it. Yeah, it's a long track, yeah. Oh shit. I was wondering, I'm sitting here looking at why my 226 didn't register as my best lap. You know what, Chris? I wish LFM would come to AMS too, because I would do a ton of those GTE races.
Yellow flag accepted.
So they tried?
Right, you've just stopped the last lap is leading. Stay focused.
I'll check that in a second. Cause I'll fly off the track if I try to check it now, like right now. And I lost time from that. Hey, I actually won a race, but I actually won a race a couple of days ago. Um, got. Oh my God, I didn't even know I had that volume. I got my phone right here, and this is how I'm seeing the chat, and I forgot to turn the volume down. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. My apologies. My apologies. So let me go back and check these comments. So, said my dad, YouTube, don't give your right arm. You wouldn't be able to paddle shift or use the manual anymore. True. And Chris, you said I've been hammering Automobilista too. Let me see. I was doing the vintage Formula cars around historical Spa, the 14 kilometers. Sorry, so I'm not wearing my reading glasses because otherwise I'd be switching like this. So if I don't quite read some of the comments, please bear with me. Yeah, I got to go back and fix that force feedback because I could feel the back end of the car sliding, and I couldn't give it any gas until I felt a slight oversteer. Once I felt the car slightly oversteer, then I was able to give it some throttle to try to correct it. But I was, because of the sliding that I was feeling, I was having to let the car coast around the corner. And also has some slight oscillation. And there's an issue with the game not saving my settings. Let's take that down to 55. All right. Excuse me. Let's see what else is out there. So, going back to your question a while ago, Chris, generally speaking, yeah, the console races are slower. If I were to use Monza for an example, I think my fastest lap on Monza is 149.8. I turn in consistent 150s on Monza, mid 150s to low 150s, and I get occasional 149s in there. Those kind of lap times on PC in an open lobby, if I run a clean race and avoid the carnage, it can get me into the top 10. I have not broke a 150 yet, I don't think, on console, but I know that 150 lap times, and depending on the situation, I can actually win a race. So my fastest lap on Monza on PS5 is I believe 151.1. Let's have a look. There it is, Monza. So this is the other crap right here that they need to resolve is the shit recording my best laps. Because right there is showing my best lap as 154, but I got the proof. If you go back and check my stream from earlier this week, where I had the title "Our Council Racers Slower," my last race of that stream, you can skip to the very end of my last race of that stream. That's where I set my personal best, was a 151.1 in that race. And I won that race too. I had to get it on the last corner because the first place car, I had been fighting with him for about 2 or 3 laps, or rather, I've been chasing after him for 2 or 3 laps. When I finally caught him, I accidentally bumped him off the track, and I gave him the position back, and then started battling with him again, and I ended up taking him at the last corner. Now, right here, This isn't too bad considering what my best lap is on Watkins Glen. On PC, my best lap is 147.630, and this is 148. So this is a less than a second faster than my best PC lap. So my goal on PS5, whenever I'm on ACC, is to try to come in within 1 second of my PC lap times. So whenever I stream from PS5 and I go onto a track, I'll always tell you guys what my best lap is ever. Because all my fastest laps are on PC. I do not have a fastest lap on console that's faster than any of my PC laps. So what I'll do is I'll tell you what my fastest PC lap is, and then I'll tell you what I'm aiming for on console, because I'm always flip flopping back and forth between racing in VR on PC and racing flat screen on the PS5. The developer answered my question directly, and he said that the PS5 isn't strong enough for Assetto Corsa Competizione to support VR on PS5, which is a heartbreak, because I would love for this to get VR support. I don't think in the case of GT7, I don't think it's a matter of if, I think it's when it gets VR support. And the other question I would think would be is, will they keep the VR racers separate from the flat screens, or will they be able to integrate them? There's another spa. There's a Zolder. That's in progress. But what I can do is get in there and finish this race out and practice it and get ready for the next one. So my fastest lap on Zolder is 130 flat on PC, and I think my fastest lap on PS5 I think might be either 133 or 132 something. And so I always have to point that out because, again, if I was able to achieve some of my PC lap times over here on PS5, I would win a good amount of races. But to me, that if that would feel like a handicap, it would almost feel like I'm going down to the minor leagues so I can try to get some easy wins or something. That's one of the other bad things about PS5 is that I don't know what it is. I get an occasional hiccup on this game, and when it happens on the curves, that's disastrous. Oh my. Oh shit, did you see that hiccup? Right on the curb. Oh, those hiccups. Mr. GT7 stream? Well, I did do that stream with you in mind. Yeah, good Christmas food. Excellent.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
PS. So, oh, there's a hiccup. So, basically what I'm doing now, Vegeta, is here. Let me go back to the garage. Is on PC, you know I race in VR on PC. And I've kind of switched over to the HP Reverb G2 because you can take the resolution up as high as 4,000 something. And I've been racing at 3100p, and the picture through this is just ultra sharp. It is just unbelievably sharp. The problem is that it doesn't have some of the tools that the Oculus Rift, the Oculus Quest has. And one of the things that I can do with the Oculus Quest is at the Oculus dashboard, I can pop the YouTube chat out inside the headset with me, and I can see it. In the case of the Reverb G2, I would have to buy like a Steam app to pop it out inside the headset with me, and all these different apps running taxes the hardware. So, and it can affect my performance. Even though I'm running yeah, that's definitely an important feature. Now, I have tried speech chat before, but the engine of the car is so loud that I can't hear the speech chat. So, when it comes down to it, when I'm racing on PC, I'm trying to compete. I'm trying to set personal bests, and I'm trying to finish as best as I can. So, driving and looking down at the chat and stuff like that, that stuff can be a little bit distracting. So what I've decided to do is that whenever I race on PC and I do the low fuel motorsports race, I'll record them and upload them to YouTube. And whenever I want to go live on ACC, then I'll just jump on PS5. I just have to jump back and forth between racing in VR and racing flat screen. So on PS5, you can turn off comments. No, like the comments are fine. What I'm saying is when I'm racing on PS5, I'm not trying to set a personal best. I'm just getting some practice in, trying to have fun, try to get within my PC lap times. So I don't feel like I'm under as much pressure on the PS5. So it's no problem to, look at the chat right there or, check my phone whenever I get a second. So I think moving forward, that's what I'm going to do. I'll record all PC sessions and go live on the PS5. And I think that'll be a good mixture. Back when I was streaming live on PC, there's been times, you got a funny question? All right, let it rip. There's been times where I'd had some really good races and a comment would pop up and I'm trying to read the comment and then end up flying right off the track. Wait a minute. You bought Need for Speed Unbound? No, I have not. No, I haven't bought Need for Speed. I wouldn't even entertain the thought of buying that game. You got Need for Speed Bound, it was born. So yeah, so basically when I'm streaming on PS5, the comments are turned on. So I don't, so I love interacting with the chat. And again, when I'm racing on PS5, I'm not trying to set a personal best because the console racers are slower. And I don't know if that's because of the refresh rate of PC versus console, but I'm slower on console. I'm about 2 seconds slower on console. And, again, I don't feel under any pressure to try to set a personal best. No disrespect to these guys, but but these lobbies, some of these guys are slow enough that if I can turn in a PC lap time, I can win the race. I get you, it's more entertainment on console. So, and I guess that's just the bottom line. I'm always trying to give it my best on PC. And don't get me wrong, I try to give it my best on console, but I don't feel like I'm under as much pressure. On PC, you have faster loading. I think that faster, more precision. Yeah. The force feedback on PC
Green light, he was okay.
feels precise versus console, but still, don't forget that I'm using this Drivehub adapter as well. Imagine when GT7 is on PC. You know, GT7 on PC has led me to ask other questions. The GT7, we pretty much know that it's not a matter of if, it's when it gets PSVR 2 support. So my question is, if GT7 were to come to PC, would it get VR support? And I think the answer would be yes, because if Sony is looking to send GT7 to PC, they also know that the percentage of people that race in VR is small, but there is a market for it. Even though it's niche, I'm surprised by how many people, and yeah, you can use your better VR equipment, yeah. Are you buying PSVR 2? I've already ordered it. We're less than 2 months away. Some of the games that I'm, looking forward to playing on PSVR 2 is the new Firewall game, that Sierra Squad. That looks nice. I did get the Horizon Call It a Mountain bundle. Please do a release stream like unboxing. Okay. I can do that. You're lucky it's sold out in my store. Well, so what happened was I got an invitation from Sony to pre-order it. And I think the reason why I might have gotten the invitation is I think for a couple of reasons. One is I signed up to get their notifications and stuff like that through Twitter and through emails and stuff like that. So I think that was part of the reason. And I think if Sony looks at data, they know that I have a PSVR 2 headset and they know that I bought a lot of games. So I think all that considered is probably one of the reasons when they opened up pre-orders, I was like part of the first round of pre-orders. Like the minute they announced the pre-orders, that they were saying that the pre-orders was, what happened was I got the invite, like, I don't know, like a week before the pre-orders actually went live. And it was like, okay, this is your pre-order invite. And when the pre-orders go live, it was like you got 3 days to order one. So yeah, I got one, definitely. So it is day one. It's just a shame that this game isn't getting VR support. And my tires.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
What is he doing? All right. I think I am going to grab a drink, and if you should still be happen, if you should still happen to be watching Vegeta, it looks like I should go ahead and start working GT7 back into the PS5 streams because, you know, I don't get a lot of views, but the amount of views that I got from the GT7 stream shows that I should consider working GT7 back into these streams again. I'm going to grab a drink, folks. I will be right back. Okay, so that 8th place, Vegeta, that's actually free practice. So we'll see what happens during quali.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Juicy Slim, what's good, my guy?
Car on the right.
What is he
Clear on the
doing?
right.
What was the purpose of that?
Yellow flag in sector 1.
I swear, I'm sorry, I swear, some of these council dudes are like nitwits.
There's a slow car ahead.
They do dirty shit for no reason.
Yellow flag, be careful there. Yellow flag in sector 1. There's a slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front. Another way, the fastest steps in front.
That's a wrap. Might as well head on back to the garage and get ready for the race. There's a lot of people in this race. check out something. Just play with the settings real quick.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Wow, got 30 damn cars in here? Shit! This is crazy. So we got 30 cars in here. This is crazy because when they first announced the next gen update for PS5 and Xbox Series X, they said 25 cars. And when they said 25 cars, I thought that meant 25 cars rendered and 25 cars in a race. But looks like we got 30 cars in here. No, actually, that's great, Vegeta. Because Assetto Corsa Competizione, I think you can have as many as 60 people in a race on PC. I didn't think the PS5 was capable of doing this, is what I'm trying to say. Is that there's at least 30 cars in this race. Well, they haven't qualified for whatever reason. But I think what's going to happen is... Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be accidents.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
What I think is going to happen is, if 30 cars actually start this race, I'm only going to be able to see 25 of them because that's what they set it at. Because if they have the console render more cars than that, then then the performance is going to be dog shit. I mean, as it stands, when I race on PC, at least in VR, I've got it set to render only 15 cars. Because with me pushing VR at epic settings at 3100p, there's no way I would be able to render 30 cars and still maintain 90 frames per second. So, yeah, I see a 20. So yeah, if there's at least 30 people in this race, that's impressive, and that's actually a great thing because, when they first added the next gen update, they separated the PS4 and the PS5 users. You had to, because the PS4 version runs at 30 frames per second. It was laggy because of the refresh rate and that kind of stuff. But when they put out this next gen update, it had issues, and they were losing people while they was trying to sort out these issues. So normally I would be at work right now. I get out of work at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So this is prime time because, most of the users on here are in Europe, and they're 5 hours ahead of us. So this is prime time. So if I were to come back and try to play this game at, say, 10 p.m. Eastern time, no, there's going to be a lot less people in here.
30 seconds.
Okay, so there's 23 cars in here. If it would have been 30, then that would have been... I mean, it's still impressive that we got 23 cars in here. And still able to run it at buttery smooth 4K 60. Because this, make no mistake, it does run smooth.
Stay double fire.
But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of... There's probably gonna be an accident, either at turn 1 or turn 2. So all I can do is just be prepared to drive through it. There you go.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Hold.
Yellow flag ahead. Charging front.
Oh shit.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Wrecks happening all over the place, and I just took somebody out. It was an accident.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag in sector 1. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag, be careful there. Car on the right, clear on the right. Car on the right, clear on the right.
Ah, shit!
Car on the left. Yellow flag, be careful. Clear on the left. Slow car ahead.
Yeah, I was doing all right for a second. I caught that sausage curve.
There's a slow car ahead.
There's still 21 minutes left, so we're not out of it.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag ahead, be careful. There's a slow car behind. Car on the right, clear on the right. Slow car ahead.
Gotta go. Catch me on the next one? All right, thanks. We've already worked our way back up to 12th place.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Gaining on the car ahead in sector 2. Well done, mate. First
Said pressure too low?
Yellow flag in sector E.
Alright, next race I'll give it a try and inflate the tires a little bit.
There's a car leaving the pit lane, watch out.
I'll have to come back and check that comment because it's not displaying the entire comment. Jay Wags, what's good, my guy? Merry Christmas. Trying to get this dude off my ass. Oh shit! I let a back marker take me. Locked up the wheels. That's where I need my base shakers. I didn't feel the wheels lock up, I heard it. Two laps in a row.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
wasting time at that chicane.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Slow car ahead. Gaining on the car heading sector 2. Slow car ahead. Slow car ahead. There's a slow car ahead. Right, man. Neither is on the final lap. Give me the way you can.
Oh, I thought the race was over. So I still gotta go get him.
There's a slow car ahead. Neither has finished the race.
I could
car back.
I could have conceivably had an 8th place finish. This car right here. Bottom line is, I thought the race was over. I didn't know we had one more lap to go. So I let up off the gas and gave him some distance. And so now, once I realized that we had one more lap to go, then I had to put my foot to the floor to try to catch him. So based on what we just seen transpire, if I would have kept my foot to the floor, I could have conceivably gotten 8th place. But I'll take 9th. I mean, I qualified. I think I qualified, 18th? Spun out, dropped all the way down to whatever, and then fought my way back. So, I'm good with that. Let me come back and check the chat. So I know somebody was saying something about all right, give me a second, folks. I got to go grab my reading glasses. Okay, so Ramboy says at lap 4, all of my tires should be at 27.7. Yeah, and I think I answered that, J Wax, but yeah, I did have a good Christmas. Thank you very much. I hope you had a good Christmas yourself. So let me check something here. So I guess the question is should I have put 0.5 PSI? Left front is good at 25.8. Right front go to 26.8. Okay.
Green light, go, go, go.
Left rear 25.9, left 26.7.
Wow. Yeah, that's some weird looking tire pressures, but let's give it a go. Okay. Need to do 4 laps, then they reach the 27.7. All right. So then, I guess that then I won't push it for the first 2 or 3 laps. Then, just enough to warm the tires up. Let's see here. Let's return to the garage. The brake duct. Okay, brake ducts, front and rear. In the past, I would turn them down a notch, but I sucked so bad it didn't make a difference. But I was also worried about the brakes overheating. Front go to 3, rear 2. And I'm starting to get warm. Hold on. Okay, I had to turn on the ceiling fan to try to circulate a little bit of air around me because I'm starting to burn up. I could already feel my back sweating in this seat. So if you hear a little bit of wind noise coming into the microphone, let me know and I'll shut the fan off. Whoa! Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit slippery.
Yellow flag acceptable.
Yeah, I know I got to give it a couple of laps to warm up, but that still took me by surprise.
Other vehicle crosses himself.
Ah. That corner right there is a problem for me.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out. Yellow flag acceptable.
Yeah, I saw that comment. Muscle memory. Excuse me.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh shit. Back to pit, yeah. Hate to say it, folks, but I think I'm starting to come down with a cold.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Show me brake side. Oops. Is the brake bias what you wanted to see, or was it the traction control? Fuel. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, I was trying to test it to see how far I could push it
Slow car ahead.
before I overshoot the corner.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Yellow flag acceptable. Other lane, the fastest step so far.
Well, all right then.
Cut detected.
Wow. Sorry about that, dude. I was too busy being shocked by how much time I shaved off with the brakes. Why did I stop? Because just that one lap right there, actually shaved off a few tenths. The braking allowed me to get a little bit closer to the apex and get a little bit better exit. So I was a little bit stunned. All right.
sector 2. Yellow flag, be careful there. Session is now open. Yellow flag in sector 3.
I looked at my next preference point late. Excuse me. This is a first chicane, slow to second, fast the last one. Okay. Yeah. Looking for that to see if it'll let me save it. Oh, there we go. Hey, that's my first save setup on console. Well, I qualified a little bit better this race than I did the last one. I think the last one I qualified about 18th. Um, yeah, definitely. I always employ that strategy and just stay back and then try to drive through the turn one carnage. Um, I was saying earlier in this stream on this track on PC, my fastest lap is 1 minute 30 seconds flat. So I'm still 2 seconds off of that, but that's what it's been. I'm about 2 seconds slower on console than I am on PC. But this same
30
stuff
seconds.
here, I think I can take it and apply it to PC and maybe be able to break a 129 on PC. So I don't have on PC as far as Zolder goes, because there's not many setups with this car. This is the 2018 911 GT3R. So as far as Zolder goes, I really don't have any setups. All I really do is just go with the aggressive preset and then put enough fuel in the car to just finish the race.
Stay double five. Green line, give it all you got. Car on the right, clear on the right. Car on the right, clear on the right. Car on the left, clear on the left.
He got something stuck to his car.
Slow car ahead. Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
Oh shit. Oh shit!
There's a slow car behind. Yellow flag, be careful there. Regaining our car heading sector 2. Well done, man. This has been your personal best. Yellow flag in sector 2. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh shit.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Charlie front.
Ah, I missed the gear.
You're halfway through. Keep pushing. Car on the left. Clear on the left. There's a slow car ahead.
shit. Hit the brakes too late.
Neither is finished line. Right lap race number 1. Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy. 8 lap.
Ramboy, thank you. I'm actually within earshot of my PC lap times. Again, you know, I did a 130 flat on PC, but I think I can take these same settings and apply it to PC, and I think I can get into the 129s on PC. There was a couple of times I got a little bit fidgety when I came under attack. But I stuck with your advice, tried to settle down and focus on the brake markers and not the car behind me. That's definitely going to be a race to remember. So let me hang on to see what the final results are, because I'm trying to see if I finished up 7th or 6th. That was one hell of a race. What did I qualify? I think I qualified 13th. We finished 7th or 6th. Yeah, that was one hell of a race. Whew. That lemon lime colored Porsche, I was slowly starting to chop him down, attack more the chicane after the tires set up, after the tires heat up. Yeah, because I noticed the chicanes is where I was losing time. Back of my shirt feels a little bit damp. Yeah, I was definitely losing time in the chicanes. At best, what I was at best, oh, looks like I finished up 6th. All right. Even with the 2 track cuts. Yeah, at the chicanes, the best I could hope for was to not lose time. I wasn't gaining time in the chicanes. I was losing time. There was a couple of them where I just maintained. I was intense, nervous at times, but a lot of fun. I mean, the intensity of that race felt like a PC race. And the funny part about it is the wrecks that I saw, it didn't look like council shit. It didn't look like dirty stuff the council people were doing. It said, yeah, a few laps you did good. Thanks. So I mean, this felt like the intensity of this race. It felt like a PC race. The one thing that's really sad about this is that I can't save the whole replay. Let me see if it'll go back and let me. It's just the way it is with councils. They just don't have.
Green light, he was okay.
Bottom line is, this version just does not match up to PC. The only thing that this thing, the 4K 60, it does that just great. But this little tiny things, this missing. Like, for instance, sometimes when you run the replays, there's no names. I'll show you if, let's see. Nope. So let's go to a different one. We'll have to delete that one. But I'll show you a replay from a different race. I'll quit this and show you a different replay. So, I mean, ever since they went to next gen with the 4K 60, they've had to put out like several patches to fix a number of things. Like, one of the things that they were dealing with is, like, with night races, you would see the headlights in your rear view mirror, but you wouldn't see the bloom. You wouldn't see the shine from the lights on the street. And so they had to go back and fix that. You couldn't save your setups. They had to go back and fix that. You couldn't save your replay. They had to go back and fix that. There was a situation where if you came around the corner wrong, and I think, like, if your car was like right on the line between pit and race, it would like treat it like you went into the pits. Like, it was so much stuff they had to fix. So let me go here. Oops. Right there on the HUD, right there, no names. And then with the replay, I don't think that's ever going to get fixed. But with the replay, you can only save the last 2 laps. So the replay here, in terms of studying, nah, you can't. I mean, the only material you're going to have to study from are the last 2 laps, whereas PC lets you save the entire race. And what else? And then right here, the control bindings. This this McLaren GT3 wheel I have, you use same name on PC. On PC, I'm Lincoln Clay, YT. Just so they know I'm a YouTuber. But like as far as my streams and videos and stuff like that goes, if I'm on PS5, um, I'll specifically put it in the title. But if you don't see PS5 anywhere, and and you see me wearing this headset, then you know I'm on PC because I race in VR on PC, and that's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit faster on PC than I am on console because on PC I see everything. I actually can see the depth of how far a corner really is, so I can already calculate how I'm going to approach that corner way before I get there. Whereas on console, I mean not console, but racing in flat screen, depending on your camera angle, you only see dead what's in front of you. But yeah, over here with the control bindings, um, this McLaren GT3 wheel I have, not all buttons are recognized. So like I've got a couple of switches right here that I use for my brake bias, and on PC, me on console, it doesn't recognize those. So yeah, not. And then the other thing, Ramboy, is another reason why I'm a little bit slower on PC, me on PS5 is because I don't have my base shakers. I've got base shakers mounted to my rig that I use on PC, and it helps me the way I have them set. I feel like wheel slippage. I feel when the brakes lock up, and I don't have to listen for it. Being when I race on PS5, I have to listen for the brakes to lock up, and I have to listen for the wheel slippage because sometimes the wheel slippage it happens so fast and the car rotates so fast that by the time I see that the car has oversteered, it's too late. So with the base shakers, I instantly feel all of that stuff. If I punch it out of a corner too soon, and the wheel starts to slip, I instantly feel it, and I can let up off the pedal and let the car straighten itself out. Um, Same thing with the brakes. If I lock up the brakes, I'll feel the pedal plate underneath me because that's where I got the base shaker at, right underneath my pedals. I'll feel that vibration, and then I know to let up off the pedals. I've got the Fanatec. I've got the Fanatec V3 pedals, which they do have vibrating motors, but because of how bad this rig shakes, because of this DD1 wheelbase, I don't even feel the vibration from the V3 pedals, and that's why I rely on the base shakers to feed me information for wheel slippage and brake lock. Um, this DD1 it produces 20 newton meters of torque, and I run it at about somewhere between 60 and 70%. So that comes out to be about somewhere between 12 and 14 newton meters of torque. Um, and the reason why I go with that much torque is so I don't oversteer the car. If I turn the force feedback intensity, oh yeah, for all this stuff, like just my racing setup, I paid over $3,000 for it. Um, this GT Omega Prime that I'm sitting at was $900. The the DD1 was 1,200, so we're just right there. We're at $2,100. This McLaren wheel was 200, but then I bought the metal quick release, so $300. We're up to 2,400. The V3 pedals were almost 400, so we're at almost 2,800. Um, and then the bass shakers was about 175 because I bought an amp and two bass shakers, so that came out to be about and then the speaker wire
It's about 175 bucks. So I think we're at almost 3,000. And then I've got 3 gaming PCs. I've got one right there in front of me. That's my main computer, and it's got a 4090 in it. And then I've got another computer in the other room right there. That's got a 3080 Ti in it. And then this room right here, I've got my third computer in there, and that's for my streaming. That's got a 3070 Ti. And then as far as my VR headsets goes, I've got about, one, two, three, four. Let me see here. I've got 2 Oculus Quest 2s. So I got 2 Oculus Quests, an Oculus Rift, an HP Reverb, and a PlayStation VR. So I've got 5 VR headsets here. And then I still got, my PS5 and Xbox in the other room. Well, I don't do anything with that Xbox. I just watch YouTube with it. So yeah, I've this sim racing thing ended up being a rabbit hole. VR make you dizzy? When the first time I ever played a racing game in VR was Drive Club VR, and that was the best and the worst experience I ever had at that time. I was blown away sitting inside a car. These exotic cars. I'm sitting in these cars doing 200 miles an hour, and it seemed so real, especially when I flew straight into a wall. It felt so real. It was scary. It's just that this was on PlayStation VR, but it was like super blurry, and the motion sickness that got to me. So I had to, what they call with VR, they call it getting your VR legs underneath you. Bottom line is you just have to keep doing it and keep doing it until you get used to it. So now when I race in VR, it's nothing. I mean, especially when I'm locked into a battle like this one that I just had here, like I don't even think that I'm in VR or none of that stuff. I'm just zeroed in on the car in front of me. But I think that racing in VR, that was the closest thing to a dream come true for me. Because as a kid, I was, kids dream of being race car drivers, fighter pilots, that kind of stuff. And I got a flight stick right there, for my flight games, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Star Wars Squadrons, and that kind of stuff. And like playing Star Wars Squadron in VR, that was like a dream come true. To grow up off of Star Wars and then to actually sit in an X-Wing fighter and then to use that flight stick adds to the immersion. Is, like I said, it's like a dream come true. Some of the other flight games, sitting in the cockpit of a fighter jet. Am I rich? No, I'm a blue collar worker. I work in a factory. I make an average salary. It's just that if I want something bad enough, I'll find a way to get it. And I'm the type of person that I don't always buy things on day one. If I go out of my way to get something day one, a lot of times it's a situation where this is going to be a high demand product and it's going to be really hard to get if you don't get it day one. And so I did pre-order the PlayStation VR 2, so I've got that coming. And I'll whenever they announce it, I'll be doing GT7 in VR as well. I mean, it's a given that GT7 is probably going to get VR support. It's just a matter of whenever they decide to formally announce it. But no, all this stuff that I got, this wasn't something that happened overnight. You know, it ended up being a rabbit hole. I actually started out on a Thrustmaster T150. Now, if you right behind me, this is the green curtain from my green screen. But behind that curtain is my Thrustmaster T150 that I still got. Um, and then I've got my friends in the UK that I race with, and they kind of started me down that road because I was content using the Thrustmaster T150, but then they was kicking my ass once they got their CSL DDs. So I was like, nah, I gotta catch up. So I ordered a CSL DD, and the thing was in such high demand, and then we had the COVID situation and the shipping crisis and stuff like that. So I ordered it, but it wasn't due to arrive for like 2 months, and I didn't want to wait. So I ended up buying a CSL Elite off of eBay just to get me by. And then after about maybe 2.5, 3 months, I had got like the second or third letter from Fanatec that my CSL DD order had been delayed. And I got tired of waiting, so I didn't want to do it, but I went ahead and dropped the money to buy this DD1. Hindsight's 2020, but I should have went ahead and bought the PlayStation version because then I wouldn't have to use that. I wouldn't have to use this this Drivehub adapter. That's how I'm able to use this this DD1 wheelbase on my PlayStation is through this wheel hub adapter. So the official PlayStation DD1 comes with a Formula wheel, and at the time, I think it was 17. It was 17 or $1,800. You have a wheel hub, the drive hub adapter. Yeah, it gets the job done. I mean, it's when I use my wheelbase natively on PC, I feel all the small details, the sharp nicks and stuff like that. But it's good enough to get the job done. I know that I was saying something. Oh, I was saying that the PlayStation version of this DD1 was 1,700, and I didn't want to spend $1,700. By the time I bought this DD1, I was already invested into the Fanatec ecosystem because I already had the CSL Elite. I had this McLaren wheel. I had 2 sets of pedals. I had the CSL pedals and the CSL Elite pedals. Now, when I sold my CSL Elite wheelbase and my CSL pedals to a young lady on Twitch, her name is Ash Vandelay. But I still have my CSL Elite pedals, which they're in the other room, and I'm still trying to decide what to do with those. And so anyway, what I was trying to say was that already had enough equipment that I didn't want to spend $1,700 for that PlayStation DD1. So I bought this DD1 where all I was doing was spending $1,200. But when you look at the big picture, with this wheelbase costing $1,200, and then this wheel with the quick release being another $300, it was $1,500. So if I went that far, I might as well have spent the extra $200 and got the PlayStation version of this wheelbase, so I can get native force feedback instead of having to use the drive hub adapter. So the thing about it was, as I started slowly getting a little bit better, I started. Here's what I had to say about sim racing hardware. I had said that the more potential you think you have, the more you think you need better equipment. So as I was starting to get a little bit faster, I kept on thinking that if I had the best equipment, then I could get faster. So um, that being said, my CSL Elite pedals and the CSL pedals, I was gonna look into getting the load cell pedal, but what happened was the CSL Elite pedals had been discontinued. So the only way I would have been able to get a load cell brake pedal for the CSL Elite pedals was to buy it off of eBay, and nobody was selling the pedal by itself. I had to buy the entire set. I didn't want to do that. And then the CSL pedals, the load cell pedal hadn't come out for it yet. So again, it was a situation where I didn't want to wait anymore, so I broke down and bought the V3 pedals. But I'm more than happy with the V3 pedals, and obviously the V3 pedals, that might not be the case now, but I think at the time that I bought my three V3 pedals, the V3 pedals were the standard for load cell pedals, because every time a new company came out with some load cell pedals, Moza, SimHub, whoever, every time they came out with some new pedals, the first thing everybody wanted to do was compare them to the V3 pedals. So I'm more than happy with my equipment. Um, I feel like my equipment is good enough that somebody like Jardier could walk in here, sit in my rig, and still turn in like close to the lap times that he would do on his own setup once he gets everything adjusted to the way he wants. So I don't feel like any of my equipment is cheap bullshit. Um, a couple of people try to make fun of me on Reddit, saying that I got a $1,200 wheelbase and a $200 wheel. But I didn't see the need to buy another wheel, especially with me racing in VR, because I can't see the buttons and stuff like that on the wheel anyway. So I didn't see any point in buying a Formula wheel that's got a bunch of extra buttons that I wouldn't be able to keep up with anyway. So let's see what the lobbies look like. I'm probably gonna get out of here in a few minutes, but um, I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to my life story about how I ended up going down this rabbit hole with sim racing equipment. I mean, but it's been a wonderful journey. I wouldn't change it for the world. Jeez, I really want to jump into that Mount Panorama, but it's almost 5 o'clock here Eastern time, and I need to get to the store and pick up some groceries and stuff so I don't die of starvation tonight. But yeah, look at these. It's definitely prime time because there's definitely a lot of let me see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 lobbies on console. That's pretty damn good. And some of them got a good amount of people in there. This 16 in this one, 23 in that Silverstone. I would love to jump in that one. Um, 14 in this Nürburgring. I'd love to jump in that one. And I've done Monza too many times. I like Barcelona. 12 in that one. So yeah. Hopefully the amp for my bass shakers will arrive tomorrow. And once that happens, then I'll get back to uploading PC content. So that's basically why you haven't seen any PC content, is because I don't have my bass shakers due to the amp taking a dump on me. And without my bass shakers on PC, I feel naked. And so I'm going to boogie on out of here. Ramboy, I definitely want to thank you for your help. It made the difference because I set a personal best today. Let me see if it registered that personal best. Because as I was saying on Zolder on PC, I normally get into the 130s. But I was able to hit 131s on console, and I'm definitely happy with that. So yeah, right there, it didn't register my laps yet, so it's still showing my best lap at 135.9. But I think I hit one. I think I hit 131.1 that race. I'll have to go back and look at the replay of this stream. But that last race I did, I think I hit 131.1, and that's about a second off of my PC lap time. So I'm definitely happy with that. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and hang it up. I'm tired. Um, if I try to jump into another race, I'm tired. My back is damp from me starting to sweat a little bit. I think I'm coming down with a cold, so it's going to be kind of tough for me to get focused if I jump into another race. So I'm just going to go ahead and end that stream on a high note, finishing in sixth place. Really, really happy with that performance. And I think we'll try to come back with some more ACC on console, as well as some GT7, and then once I get once I get the amps for my bass shakers, I'll upload some PC content as well. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. My voice is getting raspy, so I know it's time to go. And we will see you all on the next one. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. We'll see you all soon. Have a good one, everybody.